Security forces will retaliate in self-defense against those who fire at us. That is a blunt warning from Manipur DGP Mukesh Singh. The state's top police officer has made it clear that anyone carrying illegal weapons, challenging security forces or attempting to disrupt peace will face tough action. The warning comes as security forces continue operations across the state as authorities claim that nearly 70% of the weapons looted from armouries since the violence began have now been recovered. After visiting Vishnupur and Churachandpur, the DGP said proactive operations would continue until normalcy is fully restored. He also highlighted another growing concern, misinformation on social media. According to police chief, a dedicated monitoring cell is actively tracking and acting against content that could trigger fresh inter-community tensions.
We will be more proactive on the operational front. Anyone with arms trying to take law into their own hands will be dealt with very strictly. We will deal with them as per law. Those with weapons will be arrested. Those who try to fire at us will be dealt with in self-defense. We will fire back. And the proactive operations will continue till the situation is brought under control. There is a lot of misinformation happening on social media. We have a social media monitoring cell which takes action against those who are spreading false information. Since 2023, a lot of improvement has come in the overall law and order situation. We are constantly working on it and trying to find ways to deal with them and to find ways to install a lasting peace. And we are very hopeful that in the times to come, we will be able to manage the law and order situation.
But even as the DGP spoke of improving law and order, fresh violence has once again put Manipur on edge. At least 3 people were injured in an exchange of fire between armed groups in Kangpokpi district on Monday. The incident took place near Leilon, Waipe village in the Kuki majority district, with all 3 injured victims belonging to Kuki community. Security forces rushed the injured to Imphal for treatment and stepped up deployment around the hospital. The incident also triggered strong reaction from Kuki organization. The Kuki NP Manipur has condemned what it describes as an attack on the Leilon Wepai village and demanded immediate action against those responsible. The organization has called for greater protection of civilians and warned that failure to ensure accountability could further damage trust on the ground. Yet the larger picture is very, very different. There were protesters who came and surrounded the hospital, and they were actually against the treatment that was being given to the 3 men of the Kuki community. Now, what do you do when civil society themselves become participant and instead of trying to heal the larger situation, they become the tip of the spear for the vested interest? And on this issue, I invite Professor Prasenjit Biswas, Team Michael Lamjatang Haukep, Group Captain Nand Kumar and PK Mishra, former ADG BSF, for a discussion. Let me straight away go to Lamjatang Haukep. I mean to say, what happened to those 3 men was grossly wrong, civilians being, hit. And what happened in the hospital is also not correct. No one has the right to say that, why are they being treated there? Mr. Haukep.
Yeah, Kartike, some reported, attack towards Leilon Waipe was happening in the morning, early morning. When I woke up around 6, like that, I got an information that Leilon Waipe was, heavily attacked by armed group. So I'm not so sure which armed group suspected to be from the Naga side. But on the other hand, they have been brought here to Imphal. And then I was suggesting that many of the Kukis were still, more than 30, 40 of the Kukis are presently taking medical care in Imphal because of the UNC Naga blockade. So it may disturb the other, Kukis who have been presently taking, medical care if these people have been brought here. I suggest the administration to take over airlift to Guwahati or some other safer place. But unfortunately, as predicted, the tension of the Naga side as well as the Meiteis over here in Imphal Valley have got high because 6 bodies of the Nagas are still lying here in Imphal. So over here, yeah, if you look into that perspective, like from where do we have to begin? So it's so the crisis in Manipur has gone into a different level of crisis. I mean, like you see, uh, the three buddies, the three injured person who came here to Imphal for the treatment, it should not be disturbed. But people with lots of high emotions, because so far the discontentment over the six missing and now who has been confirmed dead and whose body has been in a very abnormal shape. So people are still not yet in the position to accept the dead bodies in this at this point in time. You see, Kartike, I don't know what to say. You see, people should be, the state administration should take up the case of the missing case. Somebody should be arrested. They knew it. The deputy chief minister himself accused the Sioux militant leader involvement. When the government, something is not right within the state administration. The chief minister and the deputy chief minister from the Nagas had a press conference accusing the deputy CM colleague organization KNFP of part of the six Nagas who have been killed. In such a scenario, I think government should be
Okay.
accountable. So otherwise, so the discontentment of people, the suffering of the people is so high.
Okay. Professor Biswas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm appalled to see once again a return of violence and counter-violence, especially this morning's attack is a repeat of the attack that had happened in Kamjong. So attacks are on the Kuki Joe community, and it is also very unfortunate to see that there are attacks on Naga community as well. So this entire clash is now becoming a very sickening kind of a situation, and more sickening is this polarization when somebody coming for treatment is considered as a pariah, and there is a protest against that. So such humanitarian concerns are completely going amiss from the situation, and that is something that has to be brought back. In fact, the right to get proper treatment is a fundamental right, and that right has to be ensured for all the injured, whatever be the reason and who are the perpetrators as well. Even perpetrators may get injured, and when they are injured, their right to medical treatment has to be ensured. So we have to ensure a just and fair situation for everyone, so that the misunderstanding, the kind of mistrust, the kind of violence and counter violence cycle comes down substantially. And that requires a human intervention. I think that is where we need to all talk about.
Okay.
Karthik.